Hey, it's Andy Brocklehurst. Welcome to Marketing Sandwich, the podcast that talks to trusted online internet marketing experts. And today we're doing just that. Someone who's not only created products about how to earn 1K a day, but also has a website and online community that shows you how to do just that. It's my great pleasure to welcome Dennis Becker.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Earn 1K a day is my first membership site.
It's such a great resource, though. It's been a mainstay of the Iron Space for like how long now? It started in what, 2007?
Yeah, 2007, and unbelievable. It's been 16 years now, and it's when I started it, it was more of a training kind of site, and I kept adding a few bits and pieces of downloadable material that I had license to, and I told my members it's not about the stuff that you get here, it's about what you learn and what you do, especially it's about the action that you take and the results that you have. And now there's about 2,000 pieces of stuff inside the download area, and it's just unbelievable. I've never taken anything out. That's just the way I do things.
I think that's what I like about the way you do things. It's that you don't follow what everyone else does, you do it your way, and it really is a fantastic resource. For anyone that's not come across it, do you want to give everyone the website so they can check it out if they want to?
It's earn1kaday.com, EARN, number 1KADAY.com.
Really has been an amazing resource. I think I remember coming across it first 10 years ago at least. And since then, I know that it's grown and grown massively.
That's nice to hear. Thank you.
Okay, so your story about how you got started online is a fascinating one. So could you take us back and just tell us your story?
How far do you want to go?
How about when you first popped out your mum's food? No, let's maybe not go back that far.
No. I don't. My memory isn't that good. My memory isn't that good at all, actually. In my advanced age, but my quick story is I had a retail store. I was selling sports collectibles mostly for since 1989. I had a regular job before that, but we won't go into that. And 1989, and the economy was pretty good, and business was pretty good. And after a while, though, the economy got worse, and I wandered into luckily into eBay, which everybody probably knows about, and I did pretty well with that for quite a while. And after I had experienced several months and years of paying eBay fees, which were mounting to me for a couple $1,000s a month, I said to myself, there's got to be a better way to sell stuff than to do it all on eBay and pay all those commissions to them. So I learned how to build a website, and that got me into sort of an e-commerce kind of venture, and I found my way into the world of internet marketing with the old Warrior Forum and all the great people that were there. I got onto a bunch of email lists, and eventually I ended up in the around 2012 or so, getting completely out of my retail store, and I was completely online. And I had been online since about 2006, but things weren't going too well back then. I kept trying everything in my power to actually make a living, because the people that I was on the list of kept saying, all you have to do is very, very quickly you can make a fortune from your kitchen table in your pajamas. And I said, well, I don't need to work in my pajamas, but I love to make a livable income, and it just wasn't working. I remember one day, I forget what year it was, but after I'd tried so many things, and I finally had a day. I was always tracking my income and expenses, and I remember one day I looked at the income from the day before, and it was $100 for the first time, and my wife was working with me in the store, and I had her come over to my computer, and I remember, I was actually the tears were streaming down my face. And I said, look, we made $100 yesterday. And she said, oh, really? Can we pay all our bills now? And I said, well, not really, not quite. But I said, it's a start. So from that point, things just sort of leveled off, and towards the end of 2005, things were at the worst. I was spending more money, between the retail store and my online purchases and all that. I had gotten myself into about $300,000 of credit card debt, and I was at a point where previously I had always paid off one bill by taking a cash advance on another, and everything was pretty much tapped out. I was at my max, and I applied for another credit card, and they turned me down. And I was surprised because I'd never been turned down before for a credit card. And I said, we got to do something. So I sat down with myself. I went into a quiet room and turned off my computer, and I said, we've got to figure out how to do better than this. And I concocted I guess you'd call it a scheme, where I would leverage the things that I knew and the skills that I had. And I called it, afterwards, I called it my $5 a day system. It was actually my goal was to create short and quick income streams that would pay me on a recurring basis $5 a day. And the first one that I tried did pretty well, did a lot better than $5 a day. And I kept doing those kinds of projects on a pretty much a weekly basis. And I said, you know what, I should really write something about this. I should write a short report and give it away, and build an email list for people that would want to do this. And because it worked out pretty well for me, and I'd given a sort of a heads up to people in a community that I was in that was my plan. And some of those fellows, probably females too, reviewed it and said, you know what, you don't want to give this away, you want to sell it. So I tried to put it on ClickBank, and ClickBank said that report is not long enough. For the price that you want, which was only $12 at the time, you got to have a certain number of pages. I don't know, 25 or 50 pages or whatever. So I beefed it up, and I added some things and added some images to make it bigger and all that. And that was the beginning of, that was my first ebook. And I posted it on the Warrior Forum, the Warrior Special Offers Forum, which is different than the Warrior Plus that we know and love today, the WSO Forum. And a couple pretty prominent affiliates found it, bought it, read it, loved it, and started promoting it on ClickBank. And suddenly, out of the blue, I was waking up in the morning and I had another, 50 or 100 sales. And I said, wow, there's really something to this. And then I started getting a lot of questions from the readers. And a lot of the questions were the same. So I said, you know what, I ought to learn how to create a members forum so that I could put all the questions and all the answers in one place, and people can ask me there, and then we can all share and share in success stories and all that. So that became a free forum, a $5 a day forum, which is still around but not active at all now. And after that, I said, well, that worked out pretty good. It is working pretty good. So what if I asked the members, what if I asked you to pay a little bit, and we'll add more deliverables to what you get than just being able to chat with other members. And the response to that was pretty overwhelming. So I started the Earn 1K a Day Forum, and that was in 2007, and I haven't looked back since. I've created a lot of membership sites since then, but that was the first, and that was obviously probably the event that changed my life.
Really is a great story. And I guess one of the questions I have is that you obviously came to this maybe slightly later in life than some people would have done. Has that been something that you've then adopted as you've moved forward towards retirement age?
Yeah, I started that. I wish I would have been born later, but I wasn't. So the internet wasn't around when I was becoming of employment age and all that. So I had no choice. So later in life is as good a time to start as any. You start from where you're at. So
it's such an inspiring story, though, that you have, Dennis. I mean, like 1K, earn 1K a day has become such a huge resource for anyone that's looking to make income online. And you're legendary for your weekly emails that you send. How would you say you've managed to build that community and generate the loyalty that you have since 2007?
just lucky, I guess. I don't know.
Nah, come on, Dennis. I don't think so.
Yeah, I really feel a great responsibility to serve the people that put their trust in me and have paid their hard-earned money to support the community and me. And I think people realize that. When I mail people out, whether they're on my regular promotional list or whether they're on my members list that I update every week, I try to tell them my real feelings. I try to be very transparent about what's happening in my life, and a lot of people sort of like that. So they feel loyalty to me too.
You do give an insight into your personal life as well, which I know a lot of budding entrepreneurs and newbie internet marketers maybe choose not to do to the degree that you do. And I know that obviously, if I'm okay to touch on this, you've had a few health issues over the years, but you've never shied away from talking about it, which I guess means that people see Dennis Becker as a real person as opposed maybe to someone that's just trying to sell them something.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope that being able to relate to me as a person and as a human being, and I have a lot of loyalty to people, especially more towards my age group, 60 plus, 70 plus, 80 plus. I'm not 80 plus yet, but I'm getting closer to that than the others. So they relate to me, and they realize that I've been where they're at, and I've come through the other side, and they hope that I can sort of lead them to the same sort of success.
Well, tell us a bit more about your company, if you like, the business that is Earn 1K a day. I know there's obviously online elements, but there's other stuff you've done over the years, like you've done live events over the years. What were they like, and would you do them again now?
I did them. I haven't done one since, I think it was 2015, but we did, I think, 7 of them every year, starting in 2009. It was a lot of fun. The first one was in Orlando, Florida. The others were in Las Vegas. So that's where I met a lot of really great internet marketers who agreed to speak for me. People like Jason Fladlin and the Rhodes brothers and Barb Ling, who I later became business partners with. These are all people that have been around and have been an inspiration to me. I don't think I have the energy anymore to do the live events. It was really draining. It really wasn't profitable, but profitable in terms of finances and profitable in terms of paying things forward and getting people together and learning and being able to sit down at the bar or at the restaurant or whatever and break bread with. That's more valuable than any amount of money.
As you say, there's that big element of the networking opportunities that exist, particularly with in-person events these days. Nowadays, so much more is being done online and on Zoom, and it's not quite the same. In terms of your business now and the websites that you have, you touched on the fact that you work with the legend that is Barb Ling, Mama Bear Barb Ling. Can you tell us a little bit about more of that, how that came about, and what it is that you do together?
Yeah, Barb was a speaker at a couple of my events, and we're both from New Jersey, and we flew out there together and on the same flight from Newark to Las Vegas, and we became sort of close, and she'll probably laugh about this more than I will, but the first event she spoke at we were on the same flight coming home, and I was going to meet her in the lobby at the end of the event, and we were going to share a cab ride back, and she was waiting for me in the lobby about, I don't know, 4 a.m., 5 a.m. It was an early flight, and she said, "Hey, guess what? My ankle fell off." I said, "What? You're kidding, right?" She said, No, she was just packing in her room or whatever, and her ankle just collapsed, and she still deals with that to this day. She had to have her ankle fused and whatever. So we never forgot that. I helped her get back to the airport and get her through security and onto the flight and off the flight where her husband picked her up and all that. And we became friends. And over the course of a period of time, we kept in touch on Facebook Messenger. And I was back then. I was Sean Mize. I don't know if you remember him. You probably do, but Sean Mize was a great internet marketer and very prolific on the Warrior Forum, on Warrior Plus, and he decided to close his business. And he sent out an email saying, if anybody is, looking for good assets, I'm willing to talk. And so I said to Barb, I said, I could do this if you were to help me. We could do this together. But I said, I don't want to do this alone. And she agreed. She wouldn't want to do it alone either. Pick up his complete stock of products and websites and Warrior Plus account and all that. So I said, well, let's do it together. And we became partners, to do that. And it's become a whole lot more sense. Sean has moved on and gone on hopefully to bigger and better things. And we acquired his product base, and we did pretty well with it for a while. They're less evergreen now than they used to be, but Barb and I created a Warrior Plus business that is now our bread and butter.
It's so great to see that from just a chance meeting along those lines, and you've got now someone that you stay friends with all that time, and you've been able to put together a viable business. And I know Barb is an awesome business partner, and you clearly work well together. I know that you've also acquired rights to other products over the years. Am I right in thinking you own the rights to Jason Fladian's first product range?
Absolutely. He and Robert Plank were partners in a group, a membership back in 2008, 2009, and I was a member, paying member, and that was another case where they said, this is sort of burning us out, and we'd like to solicit bids for the rights to the ongoing membership and the content, exclusive rights to the content. This was called Daily Seminar, dailyseminar.com. So I had Jason's phone number, which I called, and he answered by himself. And I said, Jason, I hear you're wanting to sell exclusive rights to your content. What are we talking as far as money? And he told me, and I said, well, that's a lot of money, and it was $32,000 for about a year's worth of content that they created. A weekly sort of seminar type video and audio every week. So as I said, well, could we do a payment plan? And then that ended up we negotiated and I bought it, and it was quite a gulp kind of moment for me, as far as the finances, but I did it, and I probably one of the best purchases I ever made. Not only did I become more friendly with Jason, but I had a lot of content that was very valuable and very lucrative to me, and I still make money from that content still to this day. So that was pretty good. Another Jason story. Back in, you asked about the seminars. I forget what year it was, but one of the seminars we had a bunch of the speakers got together for a mastermind before the seminar actually started, and Jason was there, and Will Matos was there, and I was there, and a few others were there, and we were just telling stories, and Jason said something about this piece of software that he found and he loved and he was trying to buy, but every time he tried to buy it, the website was closed because the owner of the website was in in Europe or somewhere or Russia or whatever, and the business hours there didn't conform to Jason's business hours, and they shut down the website when the business hours in that country ended. He said, I never heard about that. I thought everybody online was always 24/7. So Will Matos was there, and he said, Jason, I could probably write that for you, that software. And, as the story goes, Will and Jason could tell you more, specifically about that, but Will was able to write that particular code, and it ended up being the partnership called Rapid Crush International. Rapid Crush is an 8-figure company now, so it all started with a little mastermind and a little event that you never would have imagined back then.
That really is amazing. I know for anyone that's not aware of Jason and his business partner, Will, they've gone on to create, as you say, an 8-figure company, and it's all based around online marketing and business opportunities and so on. And they also give you credit for a lot of their success, and they've generated tens of millions of dollars. It must feel pretty special for you to know that you were there right at the start, and that they still admire the work that you do with Earn 1K a day.
And it does make me feel good. They both say that I was their first affiliate, so that makes me feel really good.
I can imagine. What are some of the successes and perhaps even a couple of the setbacks that you've encountered in your time online, Dennis?
Oh boy. In my first ebook that I wrote, $5 a day, one of the prevailing themes in there was failure is your friend. And so I've had a lot of failures, and they've all led me to learn things that were valuable later on in life and in my business career. So trying to remember some of the setbacks from the point where, like I said, I had $300,000 in credit card debt back when I had the store. That was definitely a setback, but some of the things I did later on paid that off and then some. So successes. The ebook, it taught me that you never want to forsake the opportunities that are put in front of you. You want to grab at whatever and just try things. I've tried a lot of things, and like I said, I've failed at a lot of things. I've succeeded at a lot of things, and the successes are less numerous, but the successes are always more long-term and more lucrative than the short-term failures.
And did you use the products that you were creating to pay off that $300,000 worth of credit card debt?
To some degree, but it was what I wrote about in $5 a day, which was sort of an arbitrage kind of business where I was buying Google AdWords ads and sending those ads to web pages that had Google AdSense and eBay affiliate offers on them that actually paid off all my credit card debt. At one point I was making up to $60,000 a month in AdSense earnings. And on a Christmas Eve one year, I think it was 2007, Christmas Eve one year, that year, I got an email from Google saying, we're shutting down your AdSense.
Oh, wow. Happy Christmas.
That wasn't a good thing to see on Christmas Eve. And I replied back. I said, is this a real email or is this a phishing kind of email? And I got a quick reply back saying, this is real. We don't like your business model and we're going to shut you down. And a lot of people I know that they've done that too, for one reason or other. And most people, they keep whatever earnings you have in your account, but they were nice enough to let me have the earnings that I had at the time. And, at that point in the month, I had over, $20,000-$30,000 in AdSense earnings that they did pay me, but they didn't let me go on. So
yeah, that is a definite setback.
Yeah, that was a setback, and I that was okay. I think I made more the next year than I did that last year, and I that 300 that $60,000 in AdSense earnings for a month. Obviously, I had expenses. I had to pay AdWords, ad costs, and all that. So it wasn't all profit.
For anyone that's listening to this and they're keen to dip their toe into the online marketplace, what would be your take on that? What would be your tip for anybody who's starting out today?
I get a lot of emails from people that just joined my list saying things like, I absolutely, I'm desperate to figure out, to learn how to earn whatever the number is, $1,000 a month, $5,000 a month, $1,000 a week, quickly, so that I can pay my mortgage and all that. And I said, well, I'm not really in the business of showing people how to get rich quick. And I said, you have to work, you have to learn, you have to pay your dues. I said it took me 3-4 years before I started making anything online. I said it doesn't need to take you that long, because you have a lot of resources available to you now on the internet that I didn't have back when I started, and including me. So that's one thing I advise people to do. But I also say, people say, "Oh, I can't do anything without." You say you need to have an email list to be an affiliate marketer, and I said, that's pretty much true. I said, but I started with an email list of zero subscribers, and I started with a product inventory of 0 products, and I started without having any affiliates willing to promote for me in the beginning. And it just you got to start where you're at, and you got to grow from there. And you just can't say, well, I can't do it because, you got to figure out why that because doesn't have to be forever.
Absolutely, definitely couldn't agree more. Are there any places online that you would say people should start? Is Earn 1K a Day a good place to start anybody off who wants to get their toe dipped in this thing?
I have to be honest, Earn 1K a Day has seen better days. It's, there's a lot of members there that are lifetime members. I would say just start looking around, get on some people's email lists that you trust, that the people you trust, and sort of see what they're doing. I'm a big proponent of see what they do, not what they say. I don't like to follow the marketers that show big fancy sales page ads with pictures of their castle in Scotland and their yacht and their Lamborghini and whatever. And I know they've just gotten probably a rental on the car and just was a tourist and took a picture in front of the castle and all that. But so I don't try to follow those kind of people, but I try to follow real people and see what they're recommending, and to some degree, sort of buy products. I tell people, don't get involved, don't get the bright shiny object syndrome and buy everything that you see that you think you could get rich quick with, but you do want to look around and see what products sort of inspire you and maybe can help you move forward. And now especially in the last 6 months or the 8 months or whatever it is, the artificial intelligence, the chat GPT and all that, that's opened up great opportunities to not only learn from the products that are out there that teach how to use artificial intelligence, but to get involved in artificial intelligence and learn yourself. You can ask ChatGPT questions like, what are the 10 best ways to make money online? And it'll tell you. And you can say, well, okay, expand on point 3 because I'm interested in that. And you can say, I have these skills. What would you recommend I do next? And you can there's just so many opportunities right now to teach yourself and to learn from a few trusted others that you start following, and I would say go that route to begin.
And what about your business with barbling these days? How can people find out more about that?
Um, Probably the best place to start and to get on our list or to get involved with us. We have a membership called DAB Insiders, spelled just like it sounds, DAB, Dennis and Barb, insiders.com. And there we provide a lot of resources to people that are internet marketers. And if nothing else, you can sign up for our list through there.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great. And we'll put a link below this episode as well. And what's next for you, Dennis? I mean, you're quite prolific in terms of your reports and the work that you do. What are you working on at the moment? What's on your to-do list?
I've started getting a little burned out from all the membership sites I've set up in the last year or two. And, I'm very loyal to the people that are there and really appreciate their support. And I don't want to leave them in the lurch like I've seen other marketers do. So I keep adding content to each site every week or every month or whatever the deal has been that I promised when I started it. So I'm sort of at the end of my membership site creation for a while, but it doesn't mean that I won't get a brainstorm in the middle of the night one night and say, hey, this is something that I'm not doing that I could, that the people might like, and start something new. But I'm going to slow down as far as that. Barb has been the product creation genius pretty much for the two of us. We have a lot of products on Warrior Plus, and she also creates a lot of bonus products because we're affiliates as much as we are product creators for some of the trusted people that we've been working with over the years. And we found that, and it's probably pretty obvious, but today affiliates really need to provide more than other affiliates do to convince people to give them the click and to get us the commission. So we like to provide a pretty nice bonus with every affiliate promotion that we do. And she's been creating them for us, and she's been pretty prolific.
That's great. Well, I wish you every continued success, Dennis. It's an amazing story that you have, and long may you continue doing what you do and providing all these amazing resources to the online community. So thank you, and thank you for your time today, and thank you for being here on Marketing Sandwich.
Well, thank you for having me here.